Hello everyone, myself Avinash Ojha, and today we discuss about the chapter Forms of Market. Here some learning objectives are given about this chapter. First, meaning of market. Second, perfect competition, meaning and features. Third, demand curve under perfect competition. Fourth and last, oligopoly, meaning and features. We will discuss all these points one by one in this chapter. Meaning of market. Market refers to the whole region where buyers and sellers of a commodity are in contact with each other to effect purchase and sell of the commodity. From the above discussion, the essential constituents of a market can be summarized. First, area. Market is not related to a particular place, it is spread over an area. The area becomes the point of contact between buyers and sellers. Second, commodity. For the existence of market, there must be a commodity which will be sold and purchased among buyers and sellers. Third, buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers should be in contact with each other. However, contact does not necessarily mean physical presence. And fourth, competition. The existence of competition among buyers and sellers is also an essential condition for the existence of a market. Otherwise, different price may be charged for the same condition. Here, forms of market classified in two conditions, perfect competition and imperfect competition. Let us discuss about perfect competition. Perfect competition refers to a market situation where there are very large numbers of buyers and sellers dealing in a homogeneous product at a price fixed by the market. In the perfectly competitive market, sellers sell a homogeneous product at single uniform price. The price is not determined by a particular firm but by the industry. In reality, perfect competition has never existed. The closest example we may have for such kind of market can be market for agricultural goods like wheat and rice. In case of wheat, there are numerous buyers and sellers like farmers. As a result, no single buyers and sellers can significantly affect the market price of wheat. Here some features of perfect competition are given. Let us discuss one by one. First, very large numbers of buyers and sellers. In perfectly competitive market, there are very large numbers of buyers and sellers. It means that the number of sellers is so large that the share of each seller is insignificant in total supply. Hence, an individual seller cannot influence the market price. Similarly, a single buyer's share in total purchase is so insignificant because of their large numbers that an individual buyer cannot influence the market price. Under such conditions, price of commodity is determined by the market forces of demand and supply, and each buyer and seller has to accept the same price. As a result, uniform price prevails in the market. Second, homogeneous product. The products offered for sale in the market are homogeneous, as that the product sold in identical in all respects like size, shape, quality, color, etc. Since each firm produces 100% identical products, their products can be readily substituted for each other, so the buyer has no specific preferences to buy from a particular seller only. Homogeneous product is that buyers treat the products as identical. Therefore, the buyers are willing to pay only on the same price for the products for all the firms in the industry. It also implies that no individual firm is in a position to charge higher price for the products. This ensures uniform price in the market. Third, freedom of entry or exit. Every seller has a freedom to enter or exit in the industry. There are no artificial and natural barriers for entry of new firms and exit of existing firm. It ensures absence of abnormal profit and abnormal losses in the long run. Is that all firms will earn only normal profit in the long run. A firm can earn abnormal profits or losses in the short run, as firms are not in a position to enter or leave the industry. But in the long run, any abnormal profits induce new firms to enter the market. It increases that total supply and reduces the market price. The trend's continuous tail profit reduces to normal. Similarly, abnormal losses lead to exist or existing firms, which reduce the total supply. It leads to rise in price till the losses are wiped out. 4. Perfect knowledge among buyers and sellers. Perfect knowledge means that both buyers and sellers are fully informed about the market price. Its implication is that no firm is in a position to charge a different price and no buyers will pay a higher price. As a result, a uniform price prevails in the market. Both buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge about the product market. Sellers also have perfect knowledge about the input market, as like that each firm has an equal access to the technology and the inputs used in the production. As a result, all the firms have a uniform cost structure. Since there is uniform price and uniform cost in case of all the firms earn uniform profits. Fifth, perfect mobility of factor of production. The factor of production as like land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship are perfectly mobile. There is no geographical or occupational restrictions on their movement. The factors are free for move to industry in which they get the best price. 6. Absence of transportation cost. In order to ensure uniform price in the market, it is assumed that transportation costs are zero. A product can sell his product at any place and a buyer can buy it from the place he likes. 7. And last, absence of selling cost. Selling cost refers to a cost of advertisement of the product. In perfect competition, there are no selling costs because of perfect knowledge among buyers and sellers. In this competition, firm is price taker and industry is price maker. Let us discuss here. Firm is price taker. Price taker means that an individual firm has no option but to sell a price determined by the industry. Under perfect competition, an individual firm cannot influence the price on its own as its share in total market supply is negligible. Therefore, a firm plays no role in price determination. It can affect neither the supply nor the demand in the market. So, firm is price taker and industry is the price maker. In this by this figure, the market demand curve DD and market supply curve SS intersect at point E, at which OP price is determined, and firms is price taker, industry is price maker, in which the price is determined at the point where market demand curve intersect market supply curve. In this diagram, here the price OP is adopted by the price taker firm, and firm is free to sell any quantity OQ or OQ1 or any quantity at this price. This makes the AR curve perfectly elastic and thus parallel to x-axis according to AR and MR relationship when AR is constant. MR is equal to AR. So AR curve is also the MR curves of the firm. Demand curve under perfect competition. In case of perfect competition, there are very large numbers of buyers and sellers selling a homogeneous product at a price fixed by the market. Therefore, each firm is price taker and faces a perfectly elastic demand curve. So in this diagram, output is represented along the x-axis and price and revenue along the y-axis. Firm's demand curve is indicated by the horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis. As each firm has to accept the price fixed by the industry, the price is determined at OP. At OP price, a seller can sell OQ1, OQ2 or any other quantity. However, a firm is not in the position to charge the price. In our syllabus, at present time, only oligopoly is our syllabus in imperfect competition. So, let us discuss about it. Oligopoly. Oligopoly refers to a market situation in which there are few firms selling homogeneous or differentiated products. Oligopoly is sometimes also known as competition among the few, as there are few sellers in the market or every seller influences and is influenced by the behavior of other firms. In India, market for automobile, cement, steel, aluminium, etc. are the example of oligopolistic market. In all these markets, there are few firms for each particular product. Here some features are given about oligopoly. First, few firms. Under oligopoly, there are few firms, or the large firms is exact number of firms is not defined. Each firms produce a significant portion of the total output. There exists severe competition among different firms, and each firm tries to manipulate both prices and volume of production to outsmart each other. As example, the market for automobiles in India is in an oligopoly structure, as there are only few producers of automobiles. Second, interdependence. Firms under oligopoly are interdependent. Interdependence means that action of one firm affects the action of other firms. A firm considers the action and reaction of the rival firms while determining its price and output level. A change in output or price by one firm evokes reaction from other firms operating in the market. For example, market of cars in India is dominated by few firms: Maruti, Tata, Hyundai, Ford, Honda, etc. A change by the one firm, say Tata is in of its vehicles, say Indica, will induce other firms, Maruti, Hyundai, etc. to make changes in their respective vehicles. Third, non-price competition. Under oligopoly, firms are in a position to influence the prices. However, they try to avoid price competition for the fear of price war. They follow the policy of price rigidity. Price rigidity refers to a situation in which price tends to stay fixed irrespective of changes in demand and supply condition. So firms use other methods like advertising, better services to customers, etc. to compete with each other. Fourth, barriers to entry of firms. The main reason for few firms under oligopoly is the barriers which prevent entry of new firms into the industry. Patents requirement of large capital, control over crucial raw materials, etc. are some of the reasons which prevent new firms from entering into industry. Only those firms enter into the industry which are able to cross these barriers. As a result, firms can earn abnormal profit in the long run. Fifth, role of selling cost. Due to severe competition and interdependence of the firms, various sales promotions techniques are used to promote sales of the product. So advertisement is in full swing under oligopoly, and many a times advertisement can become a matter of life and death. A firm under oligopoly relies more on non-price competition. 6. Group behavior. Under oligopoly, there is complete interdependence among different firms. So price and output decision of a particular firm directly influence the competing firms. Instead of independent price and output strategy, oligopoly firms prefer group discussion that will protect the interest of all firms. So group behavior means that firms tend to behave as if they were a single firm, even though individually they retain their independence. 7. Nature of the product. The firms under oligopoly may produce homogeneous or differentiated products. If the firms produce a homogeneous product like cement or steel, the industry is called a pure or perfect oligopoly. And if the firms produce a differentiated product like automobiles, the industry is called differentiated or imperfect oligopoly. Indeterminate demand curve. Under oligopoly, the exact behavior patterns of a producers cannot be determined with certainty. So demand curve faced by a oligopolist is indeterminate or uncertain. As the firms are interdependent, a firm cannot ignore the reaction of the rival firms. Any change in price by the one firm may lead to the change in price by the competing firms. So demand curve keeps on shifting, and it's not definite, rather it is indeterminate. Hope all of you enjoy this video. Thank you.